You're 19 years old, sitting in a dorm room with $340 in your checking account, and in 6 years you'll be worth more than most people make in a lifetime. Sounds impossible, right? But over the last decade, thousands of people did exactly that. And the strange part is, almost none of them got rich the way you think. No lottery, no inheritance, no overnight viral post. Just a set of decisions repeated over and over that most people never make because they're uncomfortable, unglamorous, and honestly, a little bit brutal. So let's break down exactly how it happens, block by block, case by case. And by the end, you'll understand why 25 isn't just a number, it's a deadline that changes everything. The first rule: money follows leverage, not labor. Here's something almost nobody tells you at 18. A job trades your hours for dollars, and hours don't scale. You only have 24 of them a day, and no matter how hard you work, you can't sell hour 25. But an asset, a product, a piece of code, a following, a business, can work for you at 3 a.m. while you're asleep. This is why nearly every young self-made millionaire on record built something that multiplied instead of something that traded. A media company, an app, a trading system, a small niche business nobody else wanted to touch. The number that matters isn't your salary. It's how many times your work gets sold before you have to do it again. And here's the twist. The earlier you start, the less it costs you to fail. At 19, a failed business costs you a year and some savings. At 45, it can cost you a house and a marriage. That's the real reason age matters. Not talent, not luck. Risk tolerance. Second rule: the boring path is the fast path. This is where things get uncomfortable because the version of getting rich young that goes viral, crypto pumps, day trading, dropshipping ads promising Lamborghinis, statistically destroys almost everyone who tries it. For every young trader who turned $2,000 into $200,000, there are thousands who turned it into zero. And you never hear about them because failure doesn't make a good thumbnail. What actually works looks almost embarrassingly slow. Save 50 to 70% of your income. Live like you're broke while your bank account says otherwise. Reinvest instead of spending. It's not sexy, but compound growth is the closest thing to real financial magic that exists. Money making money, which then makes more money. Quietly, in the background, while you sleep. The math is almost cruel in how simple it is. Someone who invests aggressively from 19 to 25 can end up with more money at 40 than someone who starts at 30 and invests twice as much. Time isn't just a factor, it's the entire engine. If breakdowns like this help you actually understand money instead of just chasing hype, consider joining the channel. It's what lets us keep making deep dives like this one instead of clickbait fluff. Third rule: skill stacking beats single mastery. Here's something almost every young millionaire has in common, and it's almost never mentioned. They weren't the best in the world at one thing. They were unusually good at 2 or 3 things that rarely overlap. Say, decent at coding, decent at marketing, and decent at public speaking. Individually, mediocre. Combined, almost nobody else on earth has that exact stack. That combination becomes a monopoly of one, and a monopoly, even a tiny one, can charge whatever it wants. This is why the fastest path to wealth before 25 usually isn't get really good at your job. It's become the only person who can do these 3 specific things at once. Because when you're irreplaceable, price stops being negotiable. Fourth rule: proximity to money changes your decisions. Here's the part nobody wants to admit. If everyone around you is broke, careful, and risk-averse, your brain calibrates to that. You start treating a $500 investment like it's dangerous. But surround yourself with people already building businesses, already investing, already failing and trying again. And suddenly, the same decisions feel normal, not reckless. This is why so many young millionaires cluster in the same cities, the same online communities, the same group chats. It's not networking for networking's sake. It's recalibrating what feels possible. And here's the twist most people miss. Proximity works in reverse, too. Spend 5 years around people who complain about their jobs and settle for stability, and your ambition quietly shrinks to match theirs, without you ever noticing it happening. Fifth rule: the specific window matters more than people think. Between roughly 18 and 25, you have something you will never have again in exactly this form. Almost no responsibilities, almost no fixed costs, and the physical stamina to work absurd hours without collapsing. No mortgage, no kids, no health scare forcing you to slow down. This is the window. This is the window every serious young entrepreneur exploits, whether they realize it or not. It's why so many stories follow the same arc. Brutal 80-hour weeks at 20, followed by relative ease at 30, Not because they're geniuses, because they spent the one window in life that lets you trade comfort for compounding, and most people simply let it close unused. And here's the part that ties everything together. None of these 5 rules work in isolation. The leverage without the discipline collapses. The discipline without the skill stack stays small. The skill stack without the right environment gets ignored. It's the combination, applied consistently for years without the payoff being visible for a long time, that eventually looks from the outside like overnight success. The truth is far less romantic than the highlight reels suggest. It's early mornings nobody filmed, rejections nobody posted, failed products deleted quietly before anyone noticed. The millionaires who made it before 25 didn't get there because they found some secret loophole. They got there because they were willing to be uncomfortable at an age when almost everyone else chose comfort instead. And that's really the final answer to the question. It was never about the money. It was about who was willing to spend their 20s differently than everyone around them. And by the time the rest of the world catches up, they're already 5 years ahead. If this kind of breakdown is useful to you, make sure to subscribe and go watch this next video, because it takes this exact idea one step further, and you're going to want to see where it leads.